Dear Paul and Mackenzie, I thought I would make a video so it's a bit easier for you both to visually understand the situation. So this is my house from the front door. So we're going to go in. So this is the entry. Which then goes sort of into the kitchen. There's a hallway down there. Left goes to bedroom, right goes to laundry and outside. So this is sort of like was originally the lounge room, and then you'll see. So these doors are normally open, and this is the room that has been unpermitted, and that's in question. So in these box gutters, which the building inspector could not see underneath, but as it turns out, the roof line, this has been built over the tiles, which when I go outside this will make sense. So to visually inspect this room, you really sort of wouldn't know anything because he couldn't see anything. You can't see between walls, so that's where the roof inspection has become quite valid in my case. Behind those curtains there is pulled down plaster from the structural engineer inspection. This was sort of how I had the room pretty much when the leak happened. So the leak came from under this roof line onto the couch, and so after the leak, this room was vacant for quite a while because we still had many leaks, and then it's been sealed now, so we can turn it back into a lounge room. There is no electricity. The electricity is turned off because the roof is too flat, and water sits sort of on the insulation in the ceiling. So since this has happened, there's been no electricity to this room at all. And I'll take you outside shortly. Through here is access to the garage. You'll see, apart from the mess, that's where the manhole is. I will get a ladder to show you that. Outside, you have to excuse horses. This is the outside of the room, and then there's a cat up there. So from his pictures, from Jeffrey Gitten's images, which was pointed out to me afterwards, was his images of this property was just taken from ground level, and that has been the problem. Through here is sort of like access to the backyard. This is the bungalow, an outside toilet, and then this is the room in question. I think it's locked here, of the inside of that unpermitted room, and that's the laundry back door, and that's the kitchen window. just it gives you a bit of view. I'm just going to press pause for the moment. So I'm just back inside to show you this door here. Is access to the backyard. So I press pause again. So according to the Australian standards for building inspections, section 1.4.2 is that you have to have an accessible area, an area of the site where it's sufficient and safe and reasonable access. So there are a number of accesses that he should have looked on the roof. So it's safe to do so here, and I'll prove shortly. So there's, which I'll put a ladder up, we'll see that there is a good line of sight up there, as well as safe access here, which is the ladder is there. And at the time of inspection, from the photograph, this was mowed, so there is also safe access to look on to the roof here. For some reason, if he might have suggested that it wasn't safe on the grass, there is definitely safe access on this side of the house to inspect the roof. The other thing is 1.4.6 of the Australian standards for building inspectors. Defect, fault or deviation, and a major defect is a defect of significant magnitude where rectification has to be carried out in order to avoid unsafe conditions, and that is section 1.4.10. The reason I bring that up is in his reply, Jeffrey Gittins stated he would offered to build a box gutter which would fix the leaking problem. If that was the case, that is a major defect where rectification has to be carried out. And if that was the case, why didn't he pick it up in his initial report? I'm just going to press pause again. So the next point I'd like to make out, areas for inspection shall cover all accessible areas. 3.2, areas to be inspected. 3.2.1, section E, the roof exterior. In section 3.2.2, safe and reasonable access. Section B, an unobstructed line of sight is present from safe use of a 3.6 metre ladder, and building elements present are close enough to allow appraisal. So this ladder is as you can see, long, and I've actually, that's on the bungalow. I'm just going to place it over here. So I'm just putting the ladder, so it's not really safe on this ladder, but this ladder is shorter than the inspection ladder of 3.6. This is only 2 point whatever it was, but even so, you can lean it against against the wall here, which is safe to do so. I'm sure you could open it up, and on inspection it would give access to view the roof. So from this view, the flashing that's there now was not there. That's what the plumber installed in January. I have pictures here. So from this view, there was wire and tiles sort of going in, so you could see that quite clearly that when it rained, water went under this section of the room, and the only thing that was there was wire to stop the leaves. The other point is these solar panels are actually over the existing gutter here, and I don't think that is meant to be the case. I will measure the roof height. Just gonna press pause again. So I've moved the ladder back to the bungalow part, and so you can access the roof from here. And you can see the roof line. This is 3 meters high, and so if for some reason he couldn't get on the roof because it wasn't safe to do so, that view I presented to you just a minute ago with the solar panels, and next to that was enough of a clear view to see that something was not built right from the pictures taken. It's hard to see now because the flashing's there. It's been all blocked up. But on the Australian standards, it says the roof access, that tiles, shingles, slate, sheet roofing, gables, roof flashing, cracked and broken down, loose decaying, rusting nails, valleys, guttering and downpipes. So I really can't see how they could inspect that unless they could get on the roof. This is a flat roof. Even if he was not able, or for some reason was not on the roof, then it should have been stipulated in his report. However, I'd still like to mention that view where I was definitely is a view that would have picked up a defect. I'm on the roof now. From here, it is safe to walk on. I'm going to press pause again. So this roof height is 2.830. It's down on the ground, so it's well within inspection. I'm going to press pause again. So this is the bungalow roof, and then we go to the damaged room roof, which again could be viewed from this side. So what I was told is, for one, was that the roof is too flat, just visually looking, and two, it's the wrong sheeting. It is supposed to be whatever this sheeting is called. So the corrugated iron is too flat, and so what also has been occurring is water sucks back and goes underneath the ceiling. So I've drilled some holes in there to try and prevent that, and that's apparently why you don't use corrugated iron. To show you the size or the height of this roof, touching the ground, and it is under 3 meters. I don't know if you can see that. There's a gutter there, but yes, it's under 3 meters, which is well under the 3.6 meter rule of you can't inspect higher than 3.6. I'm just going to press pause for a minute. So considering there is a renovation and it is different roofing, so what I was explained is that yes, this was safe to walk on, and if you had have got on and seen from that view all along here, and it's safe to do so, he then would have seen the chicken wire that is in images that I've taken before this flashing was put down. So this is what should have been picked. This is all visual. So this alone, having the tiles come under chicken wire, open here, you could see clearly and visually that there is no guttering. It goes straight into the house, and that's a major defect, and his response of a box gutter to fix this leaking problem is basically deviating sort of what we've done, but this is only a temporary fix, to stop all water coming into the house and rediverting plumbing. Now the only problem of not accepting his offer is that my insurance company, so because of the length of this room, there is meant to be a strong beam inside on the top of this roof. Now the building inspector would not have seen that, and he couldn't. It was only with the structural engineer that we pulled the plaster off. So as the pictures on the inside of the room sort of show, you know, on the inside, Jeffrey Gittins certainly couldn't look inside walls, but there's enough visual, definitely enough visual aspects of this property that if he had have viewed from a ladder like he was supposed to, and even got on the roof enough to say that there was a major defect and further investigation needed before purchase. Instead, he ticked on his report that he checked roof gutters, and they were all in good condition, which led me to believe that he had inspected the roof, and obviously he hadn't. So the other thing that they're supposed to inspect is different materials. So again, this is obvious from the ground as well. These are 2 different type of flashings up here. So it's different materials. It's the wrong overlapping. So it's meant to overlap the other way so water runs down to the gutter. So it's the wrong overlapping in the fascia, and we have put some nails down in here, but on the original, which there are original photographs of nails missing off the flashing. And then down here, the other warning sign was the fact that there was 2 different size of flashing, which is really quite visually obvious. and that it's just too flat. So they're the obvious visual things that he missed and has caused me a lot of trouble, to say the least. Visually, with the I'm still yet to inquire about the solar panels over the gutter, because I've got no access to clean the gutters either. So yeah, I hope this, I know it's 20 minutes long, I just hope it gives you a visual sense. It's very hard to I suppose defend me when you can't visually see the property, so I'm hoping this helps. Thank you.